Hello, everyone. When we last left our heroes, we were heading towards Dunharrow. The game wants you to be recovering Andoril, which it got stolen, as a little nod to Aragorn's concern about the sword in the books, but we, through some trickery, managed to keep hold of it. But we're still going to go there because there's some interesting loot in Dunharrow. The twisting cliff ascent to Dunharrow is in the books. It's kind of why it's one of these mountain readouts that the Rohirrim maintain. Hello, Saruman. Yeah, I'm not really too scared of empty threats, especially since the Ents already smashed your fortress. There are some big... I think these are supposed to be tents, but you can't actually go into them. Makes a little bit of sense, as this is kind of a both mustering point for the army and a refugee camp, if case of crisis. Okay. Well, we do have a bunch of keys, so... I thought Hammer had them. Ah, Hammer is this way. Key number 2 worked. I'll give... Oh, Hammer... I'm going to have Hammer give the keys to Fastmund. And one thing of food. I'm going to give Hammer a shield because, quote-unquote, canonically in the books he dies. So he should really... he could really use it. Aragorn still doesn't have a shield. I think Gimli could use the magic. Now this is kind of a loner. Remember, we're going to want to trade a magic sword and a magic shield, a magic mail rather, to those guys in Theodred's burial details. So, but we can use this for the moment. But that's why I'm not throwing out the regular chainmail. The dead do not suffer the living to pass, and we will not be passing, but we will at least go up to the entrance. I guess Saruman got here somehow. I guess to lure us into this ambush, but they should have brought a lot more orcs. Oh no, they hit us for an entire point of damage. Oh, I guess there's a second wave. Looks 8 rooks. That will slow us down for slightly longer. One down. Go Gimli. probably should be concentrating my fire more, but that wasn't so bad. 198. The huddled, bloody body, its face contorted in an eternal snarl, lies unmoving. At its belt you see a curious hand-shaped bronze object, a stoppered flask in the shape of a hand, a healing hand, and that question mark is in the paragraphs. Ooh, some healing potions. And we get Andoral. A second Andoral, because, as I will demonstrate, we still have the original. But Eomer becomes Aragorn's friend, so I think he should get an Andoral. And I guess we'll give the second Glamdring to Hammer. Let's use some of the hot food. Who else is 3 dead? Gandalf's hit for 1. Help clear out this inventory. Okay, so as before, I don't want to do any quests that will boost our stats until we've gotten all the way to the end and picked up Merry and Pippin, so they can benefit from it too. So I guess that means it is on to Helm's Deep. Fortunately, the game compresses the distance. It's more of a short stroll than, well, not that short of a stroll, than 100 plus miles. Oh, I guess we're back here with the ring. Well, we had a very short session with Frodo and Sam before, so we can make up for that. It's probably the read or perception. Guess it's read. Faramir can't read. Dude, you're a wizard's pupil. Okay, we do want to put a barrow dagger at that grave, but I want to recruit one last party member before we do that. So we will have to explore the swamps a bit before we... A lot of these like larger cluster, I can't really indicate with the cursor, but the larger blue blobs are sinkholes that we can explore for... Well, sometimes there's stuff in there. Oh. A vine. Vines are typically used like ropes. Go Gollum. Yummy fish. So let's look for more sinkholes to explore. Or maybe we can get another fish. No luck. Gollum does have some good advice here. He will typically try to keep you out of danger, but of course, without danger, we don't really have loot. And that's way more important than, you know, avoiding harm or saving the world or any of that nonsense. Paragraph 203. The sinkhole leads into a cavern which was carved out of stone long ago. The place contains the ancient tombs of Gondor, of those Númenóreans who were slain in the battle before the Black Gate. Treasures lie at the foot of these tombs, protected by a ghostly guardian. I am very hungry, the ghost says. You look like honorable folk. You would not care to share some of your provisions. It has been a long watch. I suspect he will be mad if we try to take the Ghost Ruby, but he did say he was hungry, so let's see if we got any. Who has some rations? Oh, Gollum's got some rations. Not quite sure how a ghost eats anyway, but more like millennia if you died around the time of the Black Gate battle. I'm not trusting Gollum with something that important. I'll give it to Sam. Sam's inventory is full. Frodo's inventory is full. Okay, Faramir, hold on to it for now. Who the hell is Nendel? Well, he won't talk to us, so I just want to see if there's anything I can give away from the hobbits, because I kind of want one of them to be hanging on to the to that trade for Frodo. I want one of the hobbits to be holding on to the ruby. There's got to be a way out of here. Okay, I think we were at that one to the right. Elf. The place you have entered is a disheveled mess. The cave smells of rotten meat. Broken pottery lies in a corner. A figure huddled in rags suddenly pulls out a dagger, then stops short. You are not orcs, he hisses in a dialect of the elven tongue that is not easy to understand. Who are you? The figure is an elven man, but one who has long been bereft of the pride and dignity of his race. He listens to what you have to say, and he questions you about what is happening. He shudders at the mention of Sauron's return. Long have I known that the enemy was abroad, but I did not think that the Lord of the Dark Tower had returned. That is grave tidings indeed, that such evil should be reborn. He snorts derisively, and Gil-galad was so proud, boasting that Sauron would be struck down forever. But that is the way of the Noldor, to boast and to die, and to drag their elven brethren with them. I am Nendol, a simple elf of the Forest of Green Leaves. My lord was Orofor, king of the Great Forest. I fought at the battle before the Black Gate after the fall of Númenor. One of the Númenóreans, a brave warrior named Verondor, saved my life. In return, I swore an oath not to leave him while he stayed on the earth. Such a foolish boast. I should have been more careful, but he was a great man, and high deeds require an equal response, else gratitude is meaningless. Sauron's sorcery ensnared many of the high lords of the Númenóreans and turned them into shades who wander the dead marshes. As long as Verondor cannot leave, my oath holds me, and I must stay in this wretched place until his shade finds its long home. I would ask thee, if you would prove your worth as a foe of the Dark Tower, to find him and release him. I have tried for so long, and I have been able to do nothing. I actually really like that little bit. It's, quote-unquote ethnic tension between the elves actually is a kind of simmering undercurrent through a lot of the books, and it's neat to have a game that explores that a bit. Especially, if you look, I can't remember if it's in the appendices or if it's in Unfinished Tales off the top of my head, but the elves of what's now Mirkwood really got hammered in the War of the Last Alliance. They don't have the same level of metallurgy. They generally fight unarmored, and they got pretty badly slaughtered. And there's mention that they have quite a bit of a grudge against some of the other elves who kind of dragged them into this war. But let's see if he knows where we can find this Verandor guy. Yeah, but where is he? Poor guy. Okay, I guess we'll have to wait till night. You know, again, it's not like we have a world crud. Okay, second light from the west. I guess we wait till night. La-di-da-di-da. Yawn. Sometimes I wish there was like a wait for night, wait for day option. Okay. Should be around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Paragraph 44. That's a bit weird, since Verandor was 144. From the ground, the shades of the dead arise and survey you. They are humans, tall and grim, in heavy armor and wielding great weapons. One of them bows and says, "You are not servants of the enemy, that is clear to see. Neither are we. Ask and we shall enter freely, in accordance with our knowledge, that we might aid thee." Whoa. Let's try that again. Sounds like trouble. Now, we can free Verandor immediately by using the ring, but you'll notice Frodo's will right now is 97. If we use the ring, we get the release thing. They're free to go. I'm not gonna read this now because I'm gonna load and do the quest quote unquote properly. But we've lost 5 will points for dabbling in ye powers of darkness. So let's do it the more good guy way, and that means storming the Tower of Galothdol. Again, Gollum does have a point. This place is pretty dangerous, but we are going to do it anyway. Because after all, this quest, again, I don't think they really expected you to backtrack the way I've been doing. So the fights are mostly keyed to 2 hobbits and Gollum. The rangers should make this pretty easy. Nice. Let's go bother him. Bother, bother, bother. Well, let's give him some rations. He'll be nicer to us if we give him some lembas, but there's no way I'm giving him, like, actually great food. Oh, yeah, I might have given that away. If we give him lembas, he'll tell us that Golwothrel's a vampire and give us a torch to try to fend him off. But we have some better stuff at our disposal. We can't access the auto map inside here. Not sure. This looks like a chair and a table, maybe. There's this big black cube that we can't do much of anything with. I don't think anyone in the party has picklock, so we're going to have to look for a key, I guess. There's not really much of anything we can do with with this altar, so let's just go back and go downstairs. Here's another elf. Well, obviously we'll have to do something to restore his spirits. Let's read. Okay. Oh, this is probably a really dumb idea, but let's open it up. We opened a crypt. How is that a... Yeah, that sounds like something that a good guy would say. In any case, we should not give him the Star Ruby. If we use it instead, we discern that it was a monster of some sort. If we trade it, it just runs off with it, and you'll never get the ruby back. Not trusting Gollum with a weapon. That, by the way, is not a Nazgul. It has the same kind of cape thing. That's Thuringwethel. Now, there are a couple of things we can use to try to well, actually just obliterate him, to be honest. I want to try the golden wheel now. The star ruby, or we can use the file of Galadriel, which I think, being something that actually existed in the books, is my... you can also fight him, but he is reasonably tough in this way. You know, just an easy victory. Okay, let's take that spirit key. Let's try showing the spirit key to show that we've defeated we had to use it, I guess. Oh. Yay, music of goodness. And Gilgan is the last person we can recruit on this side of the river, so that will be... we can start actually turning in some quests. He has no equipment, no magic, his stats aren't great, and neither are his skills. But let's give him a weapon. Someone had a spare barrow dagger. I'll give him all the barrow daggers. Just want to make sure that everyone's got, like, you know, proper equipment. Okay. Well, we picked up this key, so now we can, this is not a good way to resolve the quest, but we can discard the spirit key into the cauldron, which is supposed to work. Let me try that again. Maybe if we use the spirit key. We have to use it. And we do get Elbereth, but we've lost the spirit key for doing that. The better way to free them is to use the file again. Which frees the spirits and gives us gives us the Elbereth word of power. This altar, unlike the one upstairs, does have some nasty powers, and if we cleanse it, we will get some stat boost, but I don't remember exactly how much. So 16, 19. Okay. Using the file will not be enough. If we try using it, it will. We will need something a bit stronger. I'm not sure why, but this is one of the few things where an item that you transferred in from the earlier game can actually be used. That was the golden wheel from the first game. We also can use the star ruby to burn the altar clean. Let's see, we got a point of dex, 2 points of endurance and life, and a point of will. Not bad for a day's work. I'm going to see if I can use the star ruby again. Nah. Let's see if Barad-dû has anything to say now that we've erased Gulwathdal. I mean, he was a bit of a jerk, but, you know, I didn't want him dead. Okay, and let's give Veronder that key. So now we'll read paragraph 122. Veronder fades from sight. Alas, that all of the dead from these marshes cannot yet be free, but perhaps if by some chance of fate the enemy's ring be destroyed, then all who are ensorcelled here may at last sleep in peace. We don't get any further stat boosts or anything directly, but we should be able to go free Nendel now. Interesting thing to swear by, given his low opinion of elves who went to Valinor. So let's give Gilgan this stuff. We can equip the armor. Now, I believe the only other quest in this particular area was the one with the grave. If you recall, in our first time with the hobbits down here, we sort of rescued a ranger who was captured by orcs and allowed him to die among friends. He gave us a barrow dagger to give to put at the friend of his grave, the grave of his friend. Sorry. That didn't seem to do anything. Let's try to find that grave again. It's around here somewhere. Okay. So again, the game is not very good at making it clear whether you should use or discard an item, but I'm going to try using first, since you can always discard it later. Okay, I guess we have to discard. Currently, so that gave us, looks like 2 dex, 3 endurance, and 2 luck. Again, not bad for a bit of work. Let's see if we can discard the second barrow dagger and get the bonus again. Nope. They learned their lesson from the Arwen thing in the first game. Actually, since we got the prompt again, I'm going to try one more time. Nah. Oh well. Worth a shot. So, if we can't do Hyrcanus's stuff, then I guess there's only 2 other side quests in Ithilien to do. Maybe it's the other river. There's a cave that I'm looking for that we can explore. No, we've gone too far. is near where we found the Athelos. I hope the cave entrance hasn't glitched out too. Maybe it's on the north side of the river. Okay, here we are. The game is helpful enough that, unlike the first version, we can't just walk into the pit to our deaths, which I suppose is some degree of progress. And it's quite literal. We cannot walk. And the game has also destroyed all of our torches from that trigger, which is a very mean thing. So if you don't have the file, I'm not sure what you can do here. Mulips are actually from Tolkien, although they're not in the core trilogy. Tolkien published a book that was basically some Hobbit poetry, and it mentions this kind of monster story about Mulips, some sort of bog monster that would drag you under and eat you. Well, that wasn't very profitable at all. Couldn't have been much of a warrior. That thing wasn't very tough. Faramir's already got some chainmail. I'll give it to Demrod. Better than his leather. He's the one using a sword, so... We can dig through with a shovel, but there's a cool... So watch, if we use the shovel, we can... Whoops. So yeah, you can't just walk through, but you can use a shovel to laboriously dig your way through. A more exotic method to progress is if we use the Galadriel's box. Well, we still have the file. Very useful thing that Galadriel gave us. Before you even lift your light, you feel at once this must be a tomb. The dusty air is stifling but not foul. Now and then you feel a draft of cool air issuing from unguessed openings in the wall. The sound of your footsteps echoes hollowly. No gleam comes from your elven blade. Square stone pillars in a line reach back into the darkness. The first bears a bronze plaque. Written in Fëanorian characters is the name Telandring, and beneath it, in an antique mode of the common speech, "Here lie in glory Hirian Magister, last of his line, with his beloved ancestors until the west rise again. Maradha here, stone worker, he carved the hall in the 4th year of Belagorn, regent steward. Along the walls to the north and south lie coffins, sarcophagi, superbly carved in black stone. To the north are men finely dressed. To the south, women in flowing gowns, but they are all defiled, their lids thrown askew, bones piled at their pedestal's base." Oh, we get our light back. As you step upon a slab of marble of lighter color than the rest, an air of watchfulness grows and a voice sounds in your mind. "Greetings to you who wish well to my remembrance. I was Hirian Magister, named for the great ruling steward, born in the 1st year of his reign, in the glory of Gondor and the watchful peace. I dispense justice in matters great and small, from Minas Tirith to aged Osgiliath. My name is known throughout the townships of Ithilien. I built this tomb, largest and fairest of any magistrate, to memorialize my great career and ancestors. Consider my works visitor and learn from them. Humble, isn't he? I wonder what happens if we use that pry bar. I bet he'll be mad. Won't even let us. Well, the women are to the south. You'd think that whoever violated the tomb would, like, steal it, not just put it in the wrong tomb. That doesn't go anywhere. This looks like the right spot to use the bracelet. Try discarding it, I guess. I think 28, 21. I don't think we gained any stats, but let me load to be sure. I really should have been keeping track. So 58, 21, 17, 47, 56. Yeah, no immediately obvious reward, but still, we did a good thing. Okay, well, I'll take it. I don't think Faramir has a shield, so... Wonder why they... Or maybe if the Mulek got here later, why it hung out near this guy's tomb. Now, using the spider sword is supposed to be able to clear these strands, but as you can see, it doesn't really work. Sting, however, works much better. Well, looks like we're in for another fight. What fear? That thing was pathetic. Yeah, he's right. We can take the bag of gold, but if we even touch it, we'll lose luck. So here. Yeah, we just lost 3 points of luck permanently. And you'll have to give it up anyway. We can't carry it out of here. The gold's too heavy to... Oh, great, we have to fight it again. So it's really just a sucker trap. Okay. Well, honestly, a shield isn't that important on a pure min-maxing level, but we did a nice thing. So let's... Okay, wait. There is... In the books, I mean, yes, there's the statue at the crossroads, and the orcs have defiled it, knocking off the head and setting up a different one with a red eye on it. But it's a scene about how they cannot conquer forever, and that bow of leaves gave the head a crown again. Here, however, we will have to do some repair work because it's a game and it wants us to be a bit more active. So let's climb up the statue, and we can put the head back on. Well, we already found the stones, so we can just do that. Doing this quest gives us 2 points of dex, which is nice. And that's pretty much it for Athelion. Now when we go eastward onto Minas Morgul, most of the party will abandon us. And with that, we go back to Gandalf and company. But I think this is a good place to stop. And with the next iteration, we should hopefully have the Battle of Helm's Deep. Hope you enjoyed.